Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world, right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.
This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits. We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations. Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities. Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments. Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, Lavin Nyagoa
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered.
Good morning, it's 11 a.m. and once again we come back to you with an amazing episode of Counting the Red Ribbons, where we celebrate the impacts, the milestone that persons living with HIV and AIDS have managed to accomplish throughout their entire life. And on this specific episode, we want to address the HIV triple threat, where we have new HIV infections, teen pregnancies, and sexual and gender-based violence that have become, an ever-present reality for many individuals and communities. And therefore, our discussion today is going to focus on the role of mental health in ending the triple threat. We want to explore, different strategies for identifying and intervening in mental health. Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world, right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.
This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits.
We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations.
Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities.
Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments.
Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, Lavin Nyagoa
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered.
So I said this is Counting the Red Ribbon, and remember our sponsors of the day is the Smart Shopper. They've been sponsoring us for the longest time, and as you can see from right behind me, we have amazing colognes that have been restocked. The scent is Betty Buckley's Tender Blossom and Tender Love. They go for 2,000 Kenya shillings. So if you are interested, kindly call the number 0798 154 042 to get a purchase to make your order. Yeah, so okay, away from that, our main focus is on the role of mental health in ending the triple threat. It is a campaign. It is something that is currently ongoing in Akula Kila Mtu Kichwa. How are we going to do this? And as always, I have an amazing guest in studio. He's gonna be directing us, telling us how can we do this? How is mental health important when it comes to ending the triple threat? Karibu sana to our studios, Griffins.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Griffin Chegenganga. I am currently serving as the organizational secretary to Youth Advisory Champions for Health, Kiambu County.
Yeah.
And also serving the Department of Mental Health. Yeah.
Okay, that's really, really interesting. So you're a young man, very, very young, I believe.
Yeah.
Why did you choose, you know, this line?
Okay. We as young people, we have seen so many things happen in our surrounding, and unfortunately the society is not willing to speak out.
Yeah.
So it is now our duty as young people to now come out and say, this is affecting us, and we need to put a shut to all these adversities that come along with the triple threat.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose to serve the community, because at the end of the day, we still have a community to go back to, despite our professional success.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the basics, the most basics. How are the numbers like when it comes to, you know, HIV triple threat currently in the country? Okay,
in the last assessment that was done, back in 2022, the numbers were up to 17,000 new. Okay, the people who are living with HIV and AIDS, and 3,000 new infections. For the period 2021-2022. Yeah, so and the numbers keep rising every day, because you'll see on TV the numbers are rising every day, and the more we are trying to address it, the more the changes are coming up each and every day. Yeah.
So from our topic today, the role of mental health in ending HIV, how the two zinakujaje kuingiliana?
Okay, what happens? HIV is the mental health can become both a cause and an effect of this, the triple threat, because if somebody is mentally unstable, the chances of getting into risky behaviors that would lead to HIV infections, SGBV, and also teen pregnancies are high. And also, as an effect, once somebody becomes affected by the triple threat, they develop some kind of stress, and some even go to the extent of getting depressed out of their situation, because the society is always, they don't really understand what is going through the life of that young person.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a triple threat. Not so many people know what exactly this is. So maybe just to explain for us, you know, in layman's language, that language we can all understand, despite looking at the age factor again. So what exactly is triple threat?
Okay, the triple threat was a slogan for the campaign that is going on since 2020. And it was launched by the former CS, Mutahi Kagwe, in the bid to control HIV new infections, SGBV cases, which refers to the domestic fights, and also fights involving relationships and all that, and also teen pregnancies, which is basically pregnancies that come between the age of 19 to 24. Okay,
so looking at the numbers, especially when it comes to, you know, HIV, teen pregnancies and SGBV, sana SGBV has become so rampant to an extent we have, you know, people in relationships killing one another, families fighting each other, husbands and wives, parents end up even killing their children. So how do you describe that when, especially looking at it from the mental health side? Is it that these people hawana that mental health stability to be able to handle certain family situations?
So what happens, the psychosocial support that is expected when these adversities come up, because currently if you look at even the economy itself is leading to people having a lot of stress. So we haven't had a good psychosocial support from the previous administration that have been there, and those who have been trying, there have been so many challenges in between. So that's why you find so many families are affected, because there's no safe space for those those in relationship to come out and say, I'm going through this, we are going through this and this, we need help. So we are trying now to advise people to now come out. We have set up youth-friendly centers for the young couples. We've always contacted the psychologists and the psychiatrists in our facilities to help us in the fight against this psychosocial problems that are coming up.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at it, you've mentioned mental health services and you having youth-friendly centers where people can go seek help. How can mental health services help reduce the impact of, you know, the HIV triple threat?
Okay, looking at it in 2 dimensions, let us first look at it as a cause, mental health as a cause of this triple threat.
Yeah.
So if you have our young people and even the general population mentally stable, the chances of getting into risky behaviors such as drug abuse, sexual activities that are risky, and also because drugs is a major cause of the SGBV, and sex premature, the unplanned sex is brings up the teenage pregnancies, and also the HIV infection, which can come in both from the sex and all that.
Yeah.
So we are now trying to offer mentorship to our young people to ensure that they have the mental stability to make decisions that are up to date and right, so that they don't indulge themselves in activities that would put them at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to cut you, you've mentioned something to do with strategies. Yeah. What are some of the strategies that, you know, can be implemented to better identify and intervene mental health issues related to the HIV triple threat?
Okay, the intervention that we are putting in, we are now trying to reach as many psychologists in our facilities as much as possible, and also we have our youth-friendly centers, which is one located in Ruiru Sub-County Hospital, and the other one is being built at Kabete Level 5, Level 4 Hospital, whereby our young people will now come out, and when they have troubles and all that, they come out and say, I'm going through this and this. Then the mental health service providers will be ready to offer services to them, both group counseling and also personalized sessions.
Okay, so HIV is such a huge threat, not just to people who do not have it, but to also people who are actually affected by the virus. And we have young people being so scared to come out and actually accept the fact that, you know what, I have this. When you talk about these youth-friendly centers, how are you going to make sure that, you know what, they actually come to these centers to seek help when it comes to their mental health?
Okay, we have activities, not just the health services being provided. We have recreational services, which will attract the young people to the facilities. Then when they come there, they can access the services from that spot.
So are you like going to have, you know, ninezenda mahali and find, you know, such a nice place that has, you know, very nice recreational activities and everything, but bado nikuja hapo na nikose kuongea. So how are you going to make sure that these people actually talk?
Okay, we are doing mass campaigns, and also when now they come to the facility, we have staff who are within our age group, those who have been trained, so that they can deal with that in form of peer-to-peer mentorship. Okay,
so let's look at, you know, mental health on its own. We have the stigma that comes with it. So many people wanaogopa kujiongea just because this person is not going, instead of kunisaidia, they'll instead laugh at me, or they'll instead go behind my back and talk about it to somebody else. So how can the stigma surrounding mental health be addressed to better address the triple threat campaign that is currently ongoing?
Okay, mental health, since time immemorial, anybody who's affected by mental health as a patient has already been that stigma around that this person is a wale wenda wazimu, and also so it has been hard for people to come out, but we have been doing out of campaigns and all that, trying to tell people it's normal to it's okay not to be okay. So it is now time to come out and say we need help. So we are trying to do campaigns in our schools, in our communities, in partnership with some organizations such as Mentor 360, who have contracted some of us to do mental health service, lab service providers in the communities. So we are now trying to balance in terms of we who have been trained within the health sector and also those who have been trained from the mental health dimension to go to balance and not try to influence our young people to come out now and handle and accept to handle this situation before they turn to risky behaviors.
Okay, so you've mentioned some of the community-based organizations that you work with. So aside from just the normal campaigns that the organizations do, what other roles can the community, the CBOs play in preventing and addressing the triple threat? Sorry.
Okay. The triple threat, sometimes if you listen to stories of those who have been affected, they'll tell you they've never been able to talk to them.
Yeah.
So we are not trying to talk to those community-based organizations to now accept, to embrace the conversation around the sexual reproductive health, because that's the major topic that carries the triple threat.
Yeah.
So we are not trying to go to the CBOs and telling them it is not bad to talk about it, but let's talk about it within our language that everybody will understand, so that even the parents themselves will now understand that the young people are growing up and there's those changes that need to be addressed, so that now we accommodate both the parent and the children. Yeah.
Okay, guys, what a nice way to start your morning, by just learning, the role that mental health actually plays in, the campaign ending the HIV triple threat. We are going on a short commercial break, but remember, we still have Griffin in studio, so he's gonna be answering the questions that you have. Keep sending in your feedback to TASTV_KE on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, TASTV on Facebook, TASTV official on YouTube, and www.tastv.co.ke on our website. See you in a bit.
This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits.
We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations.
Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities.
Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments.
Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, Lavin Nyagoa
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered.
Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world, right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then. Welcome to TAS Media Institute, the home of undiscovered talents. You will be trained by professionals who have a passion in what they do. Do not be left behind. Enroll now and become a pioneer of TAS Media Institute. We are located at Neema Plaza, second floor along Kenyatta Highway in Thika Town. Life can sometimes take unexpected turns, and this family's story is no exception. When a gas explosion completely changed the course of their living, Mr. Joseph Lual and his family have been forced to face unimaginable hardships. But even in this phase of adversity, they have managed to persevere with so much resilience. And as the saying goes, adversity introduces you to yourself. Let's get the story of Mr. Joseph and his family.
So welcome to the first episode of Brain Busters. My name is Mwangi Dominic. Leo tuko barabara ya MKU, tunauliza maswali tatanishi.
At TAS Media Institute, we let you discover your talent. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for choosing TAS TV. And like I said before, today we are discussing the role of mental health in ending the HIV triple threat. Before we went on a break, we have discussed quite a lot. So if you missed that, please just start watching right from the beginning. Griffin, away from what we talked about earlier, what are some of the most effective methods to provide mental health services to individuals who are affected by the triple threat?
Okay, the best method that we have seen being employed by our organizations that offer mental health services is the personal therapies that will enable now the patients to come out and confined in the service provider, and through different sessions that will help them, because most of them will go for 3 to 4 or even to 5, depending on the case that they are going through. So that has been the most effective method. And now the group sessions, whereby we invite young people, maybe the PLHIVs, they come, we talk to them about how to handle situations that they go through. So that one has been a good, we've seen it bear fruits, and we are now looking at now having online counseling sessions for those who cannot access the facilities.
Okay, so we have service providers who've also been affected by, you know, the triple threat. So how then do you make sure that these service providers handle the clients? What's the right name to call them?
The clients.
Handle the clients without, you know, projecting whatever they have in them.
Okay, for professionally, as a counselor and a mental health provider, we are told that if a case is beyond, if a case involves something you've gone through, it is advisable to withdraw, so that you don't start usiamshe zile stress umebari. So we allow them to choose. If you are willing to go on with the case study, it's okay. But we really advise that someone deals with a case that he or she is able to handle to the end. And if at all it needs referral, we highly advise those service providers to do referrals to our seniors who we have been contracting from the facilities that we are having around.
Okay, so we have communities. So we have certain communities that, you know, they don't necessarily have access to, you know, this kind of services, especially the mental health services, because kuna those cultural barriers and everything. So how then do you make sure that this message gets to everyone? Because triple threat does not choose. It inaweza kupata anywhere, at any time, at any place, regardless of who you are, regardless of what your culture is.
So in fact that has been the biggest challenge we're having, because some cultures do not embrace the conversation around sexual reproductive health and the triple threat in general. So we are now trying to go to the grassroots and try to reach these readers and telling them please talk to your people and let us embrace this. We've been doing that to the churches because sadly the churches have been silent on this. So we are now trying to involve the church leaders, the community leaders in trying to tell them it's affecting us, all of us. So there is no boundaries between who's affected and infected. Yeah.
Okay, so how then do we ensure that this sorry, how then do we ensure that, you know, the mental health services are tailored to the needs of individuals affected by the triple threat?
So what we do, we have community health assistants who we liaise with, whereby they understand the cultures of those areas because they are community based. So we sometimes invite them to trainings and we make them paraprofessionals in counseling, whereby now if they meet a case in their communities, they can handle to a level that they now refer to us as the service providers in the facilities. Yeah, so we have been doing that. We are using the structures that are there, the community health assistants, who when they handle a case to a certain point and they feel it is beyond, they refer to us. That's why that now allows us to have the community catered for. Yeah, within their own understanding. Yeah.
Okay, so we have current campaigns or programs or services that are existing. So how do we make sure that we integrate mental health and, you know, in such a manner that it gets to a point where inasaidia kila mtu, whether you're affected by the triple threat ama you're just a normal person but is seeking help towards that direction?
Okay, what happens, programs that are there concerning mental health, they both involve the victims, or rather the patients, the caregivers, and the community at large, whereby if it is we call them the emergency services, which involves directly the patient. We have the family-based interventions, which involve the families and those who are around the affected person. And now we have the mass intervention, which involve the community, whereby we do mass campaigns. We even have medical camps, which are specifically tailored to mental health and counseling services. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at it from the professional side. We have professionals, we have people who are trained to actually take people through these services. Ile aspect ya, I honestly want to take you through this, but I don't have the capability because of probably the kind of situation you are in. How do you work around that?
Okay, when a client comes, assuming the client has come to the facility level, there is that assessment, the intake assessment that is done, so that you can be able to know who will assign the client to.
Yeah.
Because now you can't just give the client without first knowing this client, the nature of the problem. So the nature of the problem allows us to now understand who's more capable to handle the situation at hand. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Yach, where you work. Yach has been doing a lot of campaigns around mental health and, you know, ending the HIV triple threat. One of the most recent was when there was the World AIDS Day that was held at MKU. So sorry, looking at it from that point, what would you say are some of the biggest achievements with the campaign and hashtag End the Triple Threat?
Okay, we've reached so many people in our sub-counties. Currently, we reviewed our structure, whereby now we are now a registered CBO.
Yeah.
So now we have the sub-county coordinators within our organization, whereby we have activities both for men, women, and the young people.
Yeah.
And recently we had one, I think it's yesterday, we had one for men living in high risk in Gatundu North. So we are now trying to reach as many people, and now then our mandate has gone now to the county level. So we have a representative from all sub-counties, the 12 sub-counties. We have representatives who are in charge of activities, and also they report to us and also report to the relevant authorities. So we have made a structure, and now activities are now with flow. Yeah, from one sub-county to another, and sometimes triple, we do several activities within the same day, but different locations, so that we can reach as many people as possible.
Okay, so we have the aspect where there's so much focus on the girl child, especially when it comes to a triple threat, despite the fact that this affects both genders. So what is it you've said, aside from you just organizing that one for the men, why is it that the men tend to be left behind?
What happens is that men are sometimes afraid to stand out and say, I have a problem.
Yeah.
And because of the stereotype around, men should not have problems, they should have solutions always. So we are not trying to tell men, no, we are all human beings, we have emotions, we have feelings. No, it is time to accept that. So we've been trying to do, we've done several of them, several activities, whereby we invite men, we teach them about mental health, and also responsibility in terms of the sexual reproductive health. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about advocacies and, you know, policies that come with it. So what are some of the roles that advocacy and policy can play, especially in addressing the HIV triple threat?
Okay, advocacy does I think does almost the biggest part of the campaign, whereby it involves direct peer-to-peer and the community interactions. But now the policy now is where now we come up with regulations which allow us to make advocacy smooth. And so we are now trying to liaise with the organizations or government through the county government and also the NAC, which is, well, the country known as NSDCC, whereby they have the policies, we implement them. So they'll come up with a policy and now hand over to us. This is the policy, help us to implement it. So we are going to do the advocacy, and the authorities will do the policies.
Yeah. Okay. So you've talked about the government bodies, one of them being NSDCC. You know? So how has NSDCC in the long term, because it is a body that has been there, so how have they made sure that mental health is given a #1 priority, especially when it comes to dealing with the HIV triple threat?
Okay, if you look at that activity that was done in MKU, they had come up with the HTS providers and also counseling services providers. So that shows that there's a point of intersection between mental health and the triple threat. So that means, and also in our facilities, when you go to the CCCs, the comprehensive care centers, you'll find a place where the counseling services are offered to the victims. So that now becomes an intervention that the government has done, and also even our rural facility. We are now hiring counseling services from the experts, whereby if the client comes and first of he or she needs the services of a counselor before the HTS, it is easy to provide because we have them right then.
Okay, so as we slowly come to the end, how can we strengthen mental health workforce to better address triple threat?
My take on that is that we need more people trained about handling triple threat from the point of the mental health, whereby we can have integrated training, not just mental health alone and the triple threat alone, but having integrated trainings whereby you are trained how to handle the situation that come up from the triple threat.
So we have universities, and in universities there are all kinds of characters. That is why you find most of the students, oh, I am depressed, or this is happening to me, or my mental health is not stable. And in most universities, that is where the rate of HIV and AIDS is very, very, very high. So, and these are people when they are normally, because we see all over social media, they are very, very bitter when it comes to the fact that nilipewa, so I have to give it out. So how do you ensure that you bring all these people at par for them to make sure that they understand this is happening, but this is what you can do to save this situation?
Okay, that's a very good question. Currently, as Kiambu County, we are now introducing an institution branch whereby we shall have health clubs within all the universities in Kiambu. We've started the PUEA, the Presbyterian. It is already established. We have one in JKUAT, and now we are planning to bring one in MKU, whereby now it will become a pilot to now introducing summit for all the health clubs, whereby we can do trainings, comprehensive trainings to the students who can become health champions.
So that is within the organization. Yet you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
So what would you say is your parting shot? What is that one message you have for people in relation to the role of mental health, our topic of the day, the role of mental health in, you know, addressing the triple threat?
Okay,
looking at with that camera.
My parting shot will be that let's take care of ourselves. We have so many things that are going on in our lives revolving around the triple threat, and let us be very careful, not become victims. And if we have people around us who are going through that, let's take the most care for them. Let us show them compassion and also show them that they can redeem their lives, so that we don't have cases of suicide, homicide, and all that happening in our surrounding. Yet we have this ability to bring down the cases.
Okay, so guys, we have come to the end of today's episode, and this is what I will say. Mental health is a very critical factor in addressing the triple threat. This is because it can help individuals and communities cope with and overcome the triple threat impact. So it is upon you, take care of you, just as Griffin said, make sure 100% your mental health is okay. That way it is going to be easy to address any other thing that comes after. So let's meet same time, same place next week. God bless you. Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world, right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then. Welcome to TAS Media Institute, the home of undiscovered talents. You will be trained by professionals who have a passion in what they do. Do not be left behind. Enroll now and become a pioneer of TAS Media Institute. We are located at Neema Plaza, second floor along Kenyatta Highway in Thika Town. Life can sometimes take unexpected turns, and this family's story is no exception. When a gas explosion completely changed the course of their living, Mr. Joseph Lual and his family have been forced to face unimaginable hardships. But even in this phase of adversity, they have managed to persevere with so much resilience. And as the saying goes, adversity introduces you to yourself. Let's get the story of Mr. Joseph and his family.
So welcome to the first episode of Brain Busters. My name is Mwangi Dominic. Leo tuko barabara ya MKU, tunauliza maswali tatanishi.
Media Institute will let you discover your talent.